Let me be your leader.
So how do you become a successful and happy English teacher in China?
Well, live here 8 or 9 years, cultivate the relationships, fight the negotiations that give you exactly what you need.
Yeah, it's that easy, jobber.
So we did some contract negotiations this week for next year's contract, and I will say it went pretty well. I went in with an ask, and my manager was like, you know what, you should ask for double that, and also this, which I love it. So I don't know that I'm gonna get what he suggested I ask for, but I think I will definitely get what I was going to ask for originally this way. And you know, I'm not a good negotiator at all, but I am a strategizer, and this was part of my strategy. It's not an accident that I ended up with a boss who would advocate for me like that. Coming to China was kind of a haphazard decision, but not, in that we knew that as an English teacher, and as a good English teacher, I'm a good teacher, I'd be in demand, and so I'd be able to find the job I want. And it involved some negotiation, it involved some fights, it involved a screaming match where I walked away from a job, which is uncharacteristic of me. But there is the opportunity here in China, even before the epidemic, to kind of write your own check if you can find the right situation. It takes some finding. It took about 6 years to get into this job, and then a couple years to every year I prune here and prune there. This is the first year where my boss actually suggested additional benefits, but I mean, that's what I'm going for. I don't like confrontation. I'm not good at being assertive, and people don't change like that. I'm not going to become an assertive person, but I can find a situation that makes that work for me, and you can too. This year is very different, of course, because of the epidemic. The people who left China can't get back into China, and other people who want to come, they just can't come because of this. So we're us foreigners who are here, and us foreigners, I'll stress again, I am a good teacher. You can't get away with this quite as much if you're not a good teacher. I got lost in humble bragging, but that we are a precious resource. And so that's where my boss really, I was like, I'll ask for this much, but I don't want to gouge the school. They've already, you know, they themselves are being affected by the pandemic. They lost all that income, but they paid me for the months that the kids weren't going to school. So I don't want to be greedy, and I also don't want to bankrupt the school by being the highest paid foreigner in all of Luzhou, which I don't think I am, actually. I don't work that hard.
Because you're busy making movies.
Yeah. I work hard at other things. But yeah, so my boss was like, you can push for more, and that's you know, nice. To get philosophical for a moment, I am a work to live kind of person, but I think both America and China are live to work cultures. But by being a foreigner in a live to work culture, I'm allowed to be a weirdo. So I can like set these terms, because there's definitely, you can get jobs where you can work 996 even as an English teacher and make tons of money. And the Chinese, I think, understand that more than what I'm doing, which is like, how much money will you give me for as little time commitment as possible? I'll do a great job while I'm there. I care about the kids. I want to do a good job. I take pride in my work. but I'd like to do as little of it as possible. Can you make that situation work for me? And that's, they don't understand it, but they allow it, and that's all that matters. I don't care if anyone understands me. Because this is all I got. I don't want to spend all my time at work. Introvert, what I always thought I wanted out of all situations, but specifically a work situation, is that someone would tell me what my job was and then leave me alone, and it would be the same forever, and I could just do the same thing forever and ever, and I would be happy. And of course, not only does that not make me happy, but it's also impossible. And China really shows how impossible that is, because every day is freaking different, and you can make all the plans you want in the world, but if you're not flexible about how things happen, nothing's getting done. And so that's where these days I'm happier accepting that what I really want out of life is to be like a river. I will occupy vaguely the same place at all times, but the internal thoughts will be flowing and changing, and sometimes the river is low, and sometimes because it's rained very heavily for the past week and a half, it will be bursting its banks and taking over the surrounding area. And that's my clumsy metaphor for oneness. Or I don't know what it's for, but for a life that's happy but changeable.